Hi there, it's Carol with Carol B Crafts. Today we'll be making project number 2 in my Picture Perfect Birthday online card class. The Picture Perfect Birthday online card class will be available through April 30th, 2018 and includes 6 cards and 3 gift bags. If you'd like the details on how you can get this kit absolutely free, check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com. Let's look and see what's in our card kit. Everything comes pre-cut and pre-scored for you to make your crafting so much easier. Now, if you don't have the card kit, or if you'd like to make more, all the dimensions and supplies will be on my website www.carolbcrafts.com. Just search Picture Perfect Birthdays in the search bar. So we'll open up your envelope and you'll find in there 3 little of the adhesive sequins. These are lemon lime twist. So we'll set those aside. And we have our card base, a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Then we have a piece of the DSP, and it has, now I cut this from a 6 by 6 because this paper comes in the 6 by 6 pieces. So what I did is it's 4 by 5 1/4. So I cut along the bottom of these 2 hats, and then I just flipped it to make it, and then cut it to be 4 inches. So it's about at the edge of both of the hats, of these hats and of these hats. And then to get the 5 1/4, I just cut off enough to make it so that the hats looked even. I think it might have been like a 1/2 inch there, and maybe like 3/4 of an inch there. So I had to take 3/4 of an inch off. But you can just kind of look at it and figure out how much you need to take off to make it 4 by 5 1/4. Now in project number 1, when we cut off part of our confetti 6 by 6 paper, I told you to hold on to this piece because we're going to cut it down. It needed to be cut down to 3/4 by 6. So that's where I got this confetti DSP, 3/4 by 6 inches long. This is a piece of the berry burst, and it's been run through the simple stripes folder, and that's this folder here. Now there's been some concern, and I've had problems with it too, cutting when you put your cardstock through there. It becomes brittle and starts to crack and tear. So really the only solution that I came up with, and I saw this online, was to put some of our window sheets in there, put a piece of window sheeting in there. They suggested 6 by 6, but I only had 4 by 6. And that's really all I needed to do to put in this. So if you put the window sheet in there, and then you put your cardstock in and fold it and run it through, it comes out, it doesn't break and tear like it had when I didn't use the window sheeting. So we have that, and that is it looks like, let me see it's 7/8 of an inch by 6. So 7/8 of an inch by 6, been run through the simple stripes folder, and this will go on top of that. Now originally I had put this piece through the folder as well, but the DSP, no matter what I did, it was still became very brittle and tore. So it's just going to be a flat piece of paper that we'll be using. And this is the 3/4 by 6. And then we have a piece of lemon lime twist that's been through that same folder. It's 2 5/8 by 1 7/8, and again these will all be on my website, so you don't need to write these down. And then for the happiest birthdays to you, I give you 2. Anytime you have to do stamping, I give you 2 just in case you need it. And that stamp comes from the Picture Perfect birthday stamp set, Happiest Birthday to You. And then on the inside, whatever you choose to put on the inside, there's some others that you can choose from for that. So we'll go ahead and get started with our stamping. So we'll put all of this aside. You will need your piercing mat because it is photopolymer stamps, and I have that Happiest of Birthdays to You on a D block. And we'll be using the Berry Burst ink. But if you didn't have Berry Burst, you could use Basic Black. I think that would look just as well. And then the Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. These are clear stamps, so you probably would be able to do it without the Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. But because it's such a small piece of paper, okay, so I'm going to put a tiny little pieces of adhesive there to keep it in place while I use my Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. Now I'll ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp on the plastic, put it in the corner, stamp and put it and go straight down, straight up. Now when I put this, it didn't do perfectly, but it doesn't really have to give me an idea where it's going to go. So that looks like that would be a good place for it. So let me ink up my stamp again. Make sure I get plenty of ink on it this time. And then I'm going to go straight down and then up again. I'll clean off my stamp. Now, if you were going to stamp on the inside of your card, this would be the time to do it. So we'll go ahead and fold it. You see the valley and the hill, the valley facing us, and we fold away. We use our bone folder to crease that fold. And then whatever you want to stamp on the inside, this is the time to stamp it. Now we're going to go ahead and build our card. We'll get our sample out. I think I need to crease this a little better. It wants to stand up. Okay, so we know that we want to have this there, and then the 2 hats at the bottom and the 3 hats at the top. Then we'll have the Berry Burst and then this goes over here with our sentiment. So what we need to do first off is to get our DSP, the side that has the 2 hats. We're going to measure 1 inch from the bottom of the DSP, and we're going to mark it just ever so lightly on the front, and that's going to tell us where the bottom edge of our Berry Burst is going to go, and we'll cover that up with our strip. So let's go ahead and put some snail on this. I'll put 2 strips, and we're going to find those 2 marks and put it just above or just right on it so that you can't see the marks. Okay, so we have those. Now we're going to turn it around. Once we push that down really good, we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut those edges off. So we'll get our scissors I think I'll use, these are my gooey scissors for gooey things, since that is a little gooey. We'll cut those off. It's better to cut it from the back because you can use the DSP as a guide for your cutting. Now we're going to put our confetti DSP, center it there across that, but we're not going to cut the edges of this off. We're going to wrap it around to the back. So we're going to go ahead and put our snail on this, our 2 strips of snail, and center it in the middle of the berry burst. And we want even, oops, that's just a little bit not centered. Okay, and then we want even spacing, or at least enough to wrap around to the back. I didn't quite get it even, but I think it's okay. I still have enough that I can wrap around to the back, and it gives it a little bit cleaner edge that way. Now that's ready to go on top of our lemon lime twist, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it's going to go there with a 1/16 of an inch all the way around the edges. And I'm going to use my little waxy strip that I like to use when I'm putting panels together. So 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And this waxy strip comes from our mini glue dots, what's left of the mini glue dots. We're making progress here. So we're ready to put this on top of our card base, and make sure it's opening up at the bottom because that's the way it's supposed to. Put some adhesive. And this is 1/16 of an inch all the way around. Okay, so now we're ready to put our happiest birthday. Now it's not going to go like this. It's going to go a little bit off, so we're just going to make it like that, as you can see in the sample. So we'll put our snail on. Now the bumps are to the back. And we're going to just put this in the center like that. And let's see, how did I put this on? I put this on with mini dimensionals. So let's get our mini dimensionals out of our adhesive pack. And I used 8. So I'll go ahead and put 8 on there. Now because of the way it is, I'm going to try to avoid putting dimensionals where this strip of DSP is. So I know I could probably put a couple here in the corner. That's not going to be, and then maybe one in this corner down here. Well, one in this corner down here. And I think one in this corner up here. And then I can put another one up here in that corner. So let me take all the backs off. Okay, so let's see. We're going to put it about a 1/2 inch from the edge and a 1/2 inch from the bottom. Kind of right there. So like a 1/2 inch from the DSP and a 1/2 inch from the DSP there. Now all we have left to do is to put our little lemon lime sequins on, and I like to use my piercing tool for that. Just reach up underneath. Now this one's going to go kind of here by the T, kind of in that triangle there, and this one, if you have a hard time getting it off, just bend back the plastic and it kind of just rolls off. This one's going to go down here on the hat, kind of right there, and then this one, if I can get it off, is going to go kind of right there on that peach colored hat. Okay, so that is card number 2 in our Picture Perfect online class. Stay tuned for project number 3. Thanks for watching, and if you would like to find out details how you can also get the materials to make this card kit, check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com. Bye now.